Good morning to all of you. Today we shall discuss about general anatomy of CVS, blood vessels and lymphatics. The heart and blood vessels make up a blood transportation network. Blood carries nutrients, oxygen and waste products to and from the cells. There are three types of blood vessels: arteries, capillaries and veins. We will see different types of arteries. There are two types, the elastic artery and the muscular artery. The elastic arteries carry blood under high pressure which leaves the heart. That is also called as the conducting arteries. Number two, example for elastic arteries, aorta. They are called as elastic artery because the three layers of an artery, that is tunica intima, tunica media and tunica externa or adventitia. In this, the tunica media is rich in elastic fibers, so it is called as the elastic artery. Example is aorta. If you go to muscular artery, the other type of artery where the tunica media is made up of majority by smooth muscles. They regulate the blood flow. They are called as the distributing arteries. They are supplied by vasa vasorum and nervi vascularis. Example for muscular artery is the radial and the ulnar arteries. In this artery, the internal elastic lamina is more prominent when compared to elastic artery. Next type, small blood vessels, that is called as the arterioles. They are responsible for generating peripheral resistance and regulating the diastolic blood flow. So in this diagram we can see two types of blood vessels. One is the one in the red color, that is the arterial tree. What is this? The arterial tree. Different types of arterial system. The one in blue color, that is the venous system. So what is an artery? We'll know that. An artery is a type of blood vessel which carries blood away from the heart. A vein is a type of blood vessel which carries blood towards the heart. So these are all about the arteries. So you got elastic artery, muscular artery and the arterioles. Next we'll come to a small minute arteries called as capillaries, or they are also called as sinusoids. In the capillaries, we can see the interchange of oxygen, nutrients, waste products and other substances with extracellular fluid. Again, there are different types of capillaries. In that, continuous capillaries which are found in the skin, the fascia, muscles, lungs and brain. And the other type is fenestrated capillaries, means they got minute openings. They are found in the renal glomeruli and in some endocrine glands, etc. The sinusoids are, they replace the capillaries. Examples: sinus are present in liver, spleen, bone marrow, suprarenal gland and carotid body. They are large, irregular vascular spaces. The walls are thinner and may be incomplete. They are lined by phagocytic cells. They may connect arterioles to venules or venule to venule. Arteriole to venule in case of spleen and bone marrow. Venule to venule in case of liver. So this is about the blood vessels, that is the capillaries or also sinusoids. Means the capillaries, the sinusoids are replaced by capillaries in liver, spleen, bone marrow, suprarenal gland. Next we will go to circulation. There are three types: systemic, also called as greater circulation, pulmonary or lesser circulation, and portal circulation. It starts with one set of capillaries and ends with other set of capillary network. Next we'll go and see the applied anatomy. Arteriosclerosis means hardening of the arteries is called as arteriosclerosis, and they lose their elasticity. The wall of the arteries become hardened and thickening, and they lose their elasticity. That usually occurs in old age. Atherosclerosis is a common form of arteriosclerosis with buildup of fat and also calcium deposit. Ischemic heart disease due to thrombus resulting in myocardial infarction, stroke, and gangrene. So these are all the applied anatomy for arteries. We'll again revise arteries. There are three types of arteries. Elastic artery, example aorta. Number 2, muscular artery, example is radial and ulnar arteries. The other one is capillaries, or also called sinusoids. In the capillaries, all the gaseous exchange occur. Applied anatomy, arteriosclerosis. Number 2, atherosclerosis. Number 3, ischemic heart disease. Now we'll come to the other set, that is veins. They are thin walled, the lumen is large, and they have got valves. Now we'll see what is the function of valves. Valves maintain unidirectional flow of blood. Unidirectional means it allows the blood to flow in only one direction, but not in the reverse direction. But valves are absent in vena cava, the hepatic, renal, ovarian, cerebral, spinal, and umbilical veins. The muscular and elastic tissue content is much less than that of the arteries. Large veins have dead space around them to compensate during increased venous return. They are supplied by vasa vasorum. Many factors helps in venous return. Number 1, overflow from the capillaries. Number 2, negative intrathoracic pressure sucks blood into the heart. Number 3, gravity. Number 4, arterial pulsation. Number 5, venous valves prevent regurgitation of blood. Muscular contraction in lower limb, calf muscles act as a peripheral pump or muscle pump. So this is about an arteries. Arteries has also got 3 layers. Number 1, tunica adventitia, tunica media, and tunica intima. In case of vein, the adventitia is thicker when compared to media and intima. Applied anatomy. Varicose vein, valves of the vein lose elasticity and they become tortuous in appearance. A weakened vein dilates under pressure of supporting column of blood against the gravity. So it is called as varicose vein. So this is all about veins. We'll revise again. Blood vessels are of 2 types, arteries, veins. We'll know the definition of an artery. Arteries are blood vessels which carry blood away from the heart. Number 2, veins are blood vessels which carry blood towards the heart. You got elastic and muscular artery and the arteriole. Then you got capillaries or sinusoids where gaseous exchange occur. Capillaries are 2 types, continuous capillaries and fenestrated capillaries. Continuous and fenestrated capillaries. Again, vein has 3 layers. The thickest layer is tunica adventitia. Next we'll go and see what is called as anastomosis. Definition. A pre-capillary or post-capillary communication between neighboring vessels is called as anastomosis. I repeat, a pre-capillary or post-capillary communication between neighboring vessels is called as anastomosis. Circulation through this anastomosis is called as collateral circulation. Circulation through the anastomosis is called as collateral circulation. Actual arterial, there are two types of anastomosis: arterial circulation, potential arterial anastomosis, where communication and dilate gradually for circulation. Example is coronary arteries. The other one is venous anastomosis, dorsal venous arch. Number 3, arteriovenous anastomosis. These are found in nail beds, digital pads forming the glomeruli. So anastomosis, so this finishes anastomosis. A definition will see pre-capillary or post-capillary communication between neighboring vessels is called as anastomosis. So this is diagram showing circle of Willis. Circle of Willis, which is present in the base of the brain. There are 3 types: arterial anastomosis, number 2 venous anastomosis, number 3 arteriovenous anastomosis. This is about anastomosis and collateral circulation. Both may come as short notes, that is for 5 marks. Next we will go to what is called as end arteries. The name itself indicates end means it is the point where the arteries end. There is no adjacent communication between the arteries. End arteries which do not anastomose means the end arteries do not anastomose with any other arteries in the neighborhood. Example for end arteries are: number 1, central artery of retina, central branches of cerebral arteries, vasa recta of mesenteric areas, arteries of spleen, kidney, lungs. Occlusion of end arteries causes serious nutritional disturbances. Example: occlusion of central artery of retina results in permanent blindness. This is all about the anastomosis and end arteries. So we have studied about blood vessels, that is arteries, veins. We studied about applied anatomy of arteries. We studied applied anatomy of the veins. We studied about definition of anastomosis, types of anastomosis. Next we are studying about end arteries. Example for end arteries: central artery of retina or central retinal artery. Number 2, central branches of cerebral arteries. Number 3, arteries of spleen, kidney, lungs and long bones. This finishes blood vessels and anastomosis and collateral circulation in general anatomy of CSF. Next we will go to lymphatic system. It is accessory to venous system. It helps in drainage of coarse type of impurities. 10 to 20% tissue fluid will be lymph. We will see various components of lymphatic components: lymphatic plexus, lymphatics, lymph nodes. Again we got central lymphoid tissue, that is bone marrow and thymus, and peripheral lymphoid tissue. Example: spleen, epithelial tissue, lymph nodes. So we got central lymphoid tissue 2, bone and bone marrow and thymus, peripheral lymphoid tissue spleen, epithelial lymphoid tissue, lymph nodes, and then circulating EL lymphocytes. Next we'll go to lymph node. What is the lymph node? It is the superficial lymph node along the veins. Deep lymph nodes are along the arteries. These act as a filter for the circulating lymph. What are the features? You got efferent and efferent arterioles, you got the hilum, you got cortex, medulla, fibrous and reticular framework. Fibrous and retina framework. Now we'll go to details histological features. The lymph node is covered by capsule and trabecula extending within the tissue of lymph nodes. There is a space just below the lymph node capsule that is called as subcapsular sinus. Just below the capsule there is a sinus. It has two parts, cortex and the cortex and medulla. The lymphatic follicles the cortex and medulla. The cortex consists of lymphatic follicles or nodules and it is highly cellular. The medulla consists of medullary cords, the plasma cells and macrophages. Functions. The lymph capillaries absorb and remove large protein molecules from the tissue spaces. First line defense of body against microorganisms. Both the cellular and humoral immune responses are mounted against the antigen-laden phagocytes. Reticuloendothelial system are also important site of hemopoiesis. Also, it helps in production and maturation of B and T lymphocytes. It also helps in growth pattern of lymphatic tissue or lymphoid tissue. These are the functions of lymph node. Applied anatomy. So what happens if the lymph nodes get inflamed? That condition is called as lymphadenitis. Adeno means gland, lymph means lymph gland or lymph node. Inflammation of lymph node is called as lymphadenitis. Next, inflammation of lymphatic vessels is called as lymphangitis. These conditions may occur when the lymphatic system involved in the spread of cancer cells. So this is all about the lymph nodes. So we studied about in detail about the lymphatic components, that is lymph nodes and the bone marrow. So this will finish the chapter on general anatomy of CVS.